Welcome again to part 3 of my VIR series. Again, I am Dwayne Black. I've been a NASA instructor since October 2018 and have been instructing at VIR at the time of this video for nearly 3 years. And I want to talk in this video how we're going to go from exiting South Bend around Oak Tree. This is a very, very tricky complex, and I will say you will work on this section of track for a very, very long time. I even thought I had it down pretty well for quite a long time. And one day I started discovering just how much time I was giving up. An instructor who was good at data showed this to me. And since I learned just how much there is in this corner, I've been working at it for probably 1.5 to 2 years trying to find more there. So this will show you my way of doing it and hopefully help you find a lot of speed here too. Please enjoy. All right. Now, as you get to this point, note there's a flagger ahead. You can't really see them, but they're right up there, right as you turn into 11. And you want to kind of aim at the flagger. Notice there is a path of rubber being laid down that makes a nice little arc right where we want to go. Now, as we're coming up, I'm braking at around 3. You may brake earlier or later, of course, but I'm aiming still to the left. Notice the corner worker still there. And I'm going to try to get the car as far to the left as I can. And this is going to be one big brake zone up ahead. Once I apply the brakes right in here, I will release the brakes somewhere around here. And I see a lot of people make this into 2 braking zones. Please work on making it 1 brake zone. I turn in around a 1 marker, not sharply. This is another spot a little bit like NASCAR bend. You turn in, and as you keep getting closer and closer to the turn, you just keep on add wheel, add wheel, add wheel, add wheel. Now, it's also, turn 11 is much faster than people think. There is a school line, which I'll address momentarily. I would say this is good placement. I don't think you need to be on the curbs. I think you want to get close to them. And even if you're a couple feet off the curbs, I think that's perfectly fine. But it is very, very important that you let the car keep tracking out. Now, remember, you're going to keep on adding wheel, but you're going to be going so fast, the car is not going to end up on the right side of the track. The car is going to be going so fast that it says, okay, I still see you're adding wheel, but we're going fast and we're going to end up out here on the left side of the track. This is perfect car placement. This is where you really want to be. This is a very important screenshot. I will say that because as novices and intermediates, I have so many people who, if I try to get them to go inside on turn 11, they end up with their car out here in this area somewhere. And what that does is turn Oak Tree from a 40-mile-an-hour corner to a 20-mile-an-hour corner. And that loss of 20 miles an hour costs you all the way down one of the longest straightaways on any road course. Now, remember I said you keep adding wheel and adding wheel and adding wheel. Now, when you get to about this point and you see that curb, you're going to make one last turn into it. And then once the car has a nice trajectory where it's aiming towards that curb, we're going to start opening up our wheel. Now, there's a few things to notice here. One is that the track is going downhill. That will cause you to possibly lose traction as you go back to power. Be aware of that. So you should be opening up the wheel at this point. And by the way, just a last note, if you really, really nail Oak Tree turn, you will stop your braking somewhere along here. And you'll be back to power just before you get to that curb. If you're coasting around this corner, work on very incrementally working your brake in. And I would actually say don't do that by braking deeper. Do that by braking lighter. I'm not braking full threshold braking all the way around this corner. I'm kind of modulating my brake pedal as I go around this corner. Now, here we are. We're getting back to the power. And keep in mind, there is a lot of room that you can use here. There's even some cars that can put 4 wheels over this curb and not even straddle that curb. I would say aim to straddle and use the extra as runoff if you need it. Just know it's there. This is a curb too that if you're going to lift off the gas to cross it or even steer to go over it, it's not going to be faster. If you go over this curb, it needs to be staying full committed, wide open throttle, and cross. I would say as you start out, work on just getting right to the curb, and then as you get more advanced, experiment with the idea of going back to throttle earlier so the car goes out. Do not go over here because you opened up the wheel. Go out here because you got on the throttle so early that you had to open up the wheel as a cause and effect chicken and the egg. You open up the wheel because you went to the gas, and that gave you no choice but to cross the curb. And that's what's going to make you fast. Last note here, eyes to the end of the straightaway. If there's a car behind you or something, you may want to shuffle over and give them a point to the left. But otherwise, if there's nobody behind you, you can just let the car slowly cross the straightaway as you go down here. All right. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if this helped you out, and I hope to see you at the track.